So it's been 2 weeks since my last video, and I've finally been able to make the other side of the Mudstruts slash Sissy Bar, as you can see here. Take this off. What we've done now is we've quickly welded on these two tabs so it will keep this shape together, because obviously when I'm handling it, I'm handling 3 different parts, the Mudguard and the 2 bits of metal, but this will now make the Sissy Bar 1 unit. And then we're gonna mark up like I've done here and drill the holes needed to fix it onto each other. I'll just quickly show you guys what it looks like all together with the seat on and stuff. So that's how it's kind of looking. I'll be back in 2 seconds after we've drilled up the holes. So now we've come in, we've drilled in 1, 2, 3, 4 holes here right through the Mudguard struts into the Mudguard itself. Didn't actually have to do all those markings really because we just kept it on there. So this is now 1 whole unit. And we're now just quickly, I don't know if this is too hot for me to hold, got this piece here, quickly just made that with my dad to pop on the end of there like that. So as you can see, this will kind of conjoin there when it's welded on properly. If it's not perfect, but once it's welded on we can just kind of grind those imperfections away. Then we'll take off the bars here and there, and then hopefully it'll be 1 whole Mudguard slash Sissy Bar ready to go on, which I'm excited about. And then if we get that all done today, I'll probably do a little solution of vinegar and salt water, because as you can see here, the Mudguard has started to rust in the 2 weeks I've left it alone, but it's taken its sweet time, and I obviously need to do a top coat relatively soon. Well, I don't need to, but I'd like to just get it done and out of the way. You can see very small bits of red or orangey rust in those parts, but not enough that I would really call it patina. I'm just going to tilt the camera slightly so you can kind of see how that's coming all together. Yeah. So we'll probably cut back to after welding this on and taking this off, and then maybe putting it out on the bike to see how it looks. Yeah. So here we have it. This is the Sissy Bar. Just managed to now weld this bit on here. Just need to grind it down and shape it up a bit. Next I will be putting on brackets for the L plates and the tail light, and then I will think of taking these off, and hopefully that means it's all sorted. So in order to get these to come together with the welder that we have, because our welder's not super hot or super strong, we grinded these 2 bits of metal into V shapes like so, and put the tips together. And then once we did that, we could move the weld from the middle outwards, and therefore it'd be strong enough to stay, because if we just welded it on flat together it wouldn't have worked as well, if that made any sense. I'm pretty impressed with this. I didn't do all of it obviously, so I can't take all the credit, but no, I can't even get the whole thing in frame. This is by far the most ambitious part of the build so far, and we kind of got it. I have to thank my dad for being there for a lot of it. It was definitely very frustrating and challenging. and I'm glad it's nearly over. I would say this was still even more difficult than the changing of the forks, because even though I didn't really know what I was doing for the forks, it was still just parts rather than me trying to figure out how to fit things. That didn't make a lot of sense, but I know what I mean. Anyways, that's that part done. Pretty happy about it. So whilst we wait for that to cool down, I'll show you guys what I've recently purchased, which is some paints, also some paintbrushes. I brought this enamel paint for the guy who's going to do the tank art for me. This was really fucking expensive. I guess that's just the way it is. So I've got some reducer and 6 different colours of paint that the artists themselves requested. I'm using the Alpha Enamel lettering paint. Yeah, if you've got painters in the chat, then you know, they'll probably know what this is all about. I have no idea, I just brought it. It was very expensive, but you know, it's worth paying a good amount for a good job. I want to shout out Eddie, I want to say this name right, I'm not going to say the name right, Eddie Beniston, Dirty Ed on Instagram. They very, very nice, kindly gave me some advice about what paints to use and things like that, which I really appreciate. They are a professional tank painter, so if you guys could go give them a follow, they're really quite fantastic, and I really respect that they gave me advice and stuff, because you know, that's their trade and they in no way had to, but out of the kindness for me being a fellow bike builder, you know, they gave me a little bit of advice, which I really appreciate. Yeah, I'll tag them down below or here or whatever. So that's all of those. I'll be sending that off to my friend some point soon. It's hit or miss or whether they're going to actually do it or not. They're going to give it a go. They've never worked with metal before and done a tank painting before, so they want to see if they can do it right. I trust that they would do an awesome job at it, but you know, if they're comfortable to do it, then they will do it, and if not, they won't. I know I haven't really been on the ball with the build so far, like in the last few weeks. That being said, when have I ever been on the ball? I swear I always say that every other week, like, sorry I've not been updating, sorry I'm not getting on with it. This week, or the last 2-3 weeks, I've been preparing for Comic-Con. If you follow my Instagram, you know that I've been making my cosplay from scratch, so I've been doing a lot of that from the past few weeks. I am hoping after Halloween I'll be a bit more free to kind of do things. It's surprising I'm even doing anything this week because con is literally this weekend, and usually right now I've been a bit of a crunch and I've been a bit of a panic because I never ever get things done in time. The bike being a fucking great example of that. And then after con, I've only got 1 week to make my Halloween costume, which I usually go quite hard for every year. It's been probably me and my friend's favourite holiday for the past 5 years. Maybe barring New Year's Eve, where we all get together and we all actually really go out and make the best of the holiday. So, yeah. But as I said, hopefully after Halloween I'll get my ass back to it for the 15th time, it feels like. I just want to say a quick thanks to my patrons as well. You guys are great and I love you all to pieces. In terms of support, I do take like one-time donations if you guys are not up for like paying monthly. If you guys are thinking of supporting me in any kind of way, like I'm completely happy to have like a £5 chucked my way just because you feel like it. Like that's always been appreciated. Really love to do another load of t-shirts at some point, but actually price them properly so I could get something out of it. The only problem is I do not have the funds initially to make the t-shirts to then get the profit from the t-shirts, so it's just haven't been able to do that, but it is on my mind. I've just been a bit busy and I don't have the funds for it, so you know. So I'm just going to quickly go grab the Mudguard and we can see if that's kind of cooled down a bit, and then I'll grind it down, and then maybe if I have time at the end of today I will put it quickly on the XVS and have a look how it all looks all together. And so this is what it's ended up looking like. It's all fixed up together now properly. All I need to do is kind of remove this and this, and put the brackets on, as I said earlier, but that is the shape and kind of all of that. Dude, this was so painstakingly long and torturous to try and figure out how to make this work. I got there. I'm not really feeling like it's worth it right now, but I'm sure like later on I'll be like, yes, that was definitely worth it. But I think I'm just so tired and I want to go inside and have a beer and have a shower. So it feels like it's taken a really long time, but the reality is the other videos were compiled over several months. It took me months to get that Springer front end on. It took me months to finish up the exhausts. You know, that's just the way it's always been, but for some reason this felt really fucking grim. Anyways, less complaining, more celebrating, because we did it, boys. See if I can turn it around to give you guys like a good, don't know how well you can see that, to be honest, actually. Oh shit. I guess I'll just pop it here and try and pan around it. So on the bike, this doesn't sit as far diagonally like that. It sits a little bit more upwards, but you can't really tell without it being on the bike. The whole Mudguard is a bit more like this rather than flat, which is now a good cue for me to cut over to this on the bike.